Oh, it's inside. Okay, Sean, come sit over here. They're gonna go live.
Okay. Sure. Did my wife show you what I just did? Yeah, we'll try to cut one. I have it set up to cut, so. I'm not showing a single weld out today.
Needs more triangulation, dude. So I just heckle people. Just heckle people right over the video. Needs more triangulation, dude. So I just heckle people. Just heckle people right over the video. Needs more triangulation, dude. So I just heckle people. Just heckle people right over the video. Needs more triangulation, dude. So I just heckle people. Just heckle people right over the video. Needs more triangulation, dude.
It's going good. How are you doing? This is I'm Sean. This is my wife, Crystal.
Heyo.
It's going good. How are you doing? This is
Hi, Crystal.
I'm Sean. This is my wife, Crystal. Hey, Guido.
Hey,
It's been a while.
Oh, hi, Sean.
It's
How are
going
you,
good.
buddy?
How are you doing? Yeah. This
Good to
is,
see you're still alive.
I'm
Crystal.
Sean. This is my wife. You too. You especially. Hey, Guido.
Hey,
It's been a while.
Oh, hi, Sean. How are you, buddy?
Yeah.
Good to see you're still alive.
Are we waiting for more people to join?
You too.
Or?
You especially. Hey, Guido. It's been a while.
Oh,
Make sure
hi,
I'm on
Sean. How are you, buddy? Good to see you're still alive.
Are we waiting for more people to join?
Hey, what are you doing?
Especially. Hey, Guido. It's been a while.
Oh,
Make sure
hi,
I'm on
Sean. How are you, buddy? Good to see you're still alive.
Are we waiting for more people to join?
Hey, what are you doing?
There we go. Make sure I'm on
Sean,
Wi-Fi.
how are you, buddy? Good to see you're still alive.
Are we waiting for more people to join?
Hey, what are you doing?
All right, I'm going to start way back to kind of what started my life. So I joined the military when I was 17, worked my way up to be a Black Hawk pilot. I very quickly realized I was getting old, ugly, and fat, and I was never going to meet a cute girl in the Army. So I went to nursing school, which is where I met Crystal. We graduated within 6 months of each other. We both moved up to Houston to go to graduate school. And I ended up with my doctoral degree in nurse anesthesia, and she has her master's as a nurse practitioner. As my graduation present to myself, I started building my own CNC plasma in my one-bedroom apartment with a little one-car garage. And my wife was extremely supportive of it. she was not. She was like, why are you wasting all this money and all this space in this little 1-bedroom apartment? Like, can you stop? You're psycho.
And he was a full-time student and I was working part-time. So in my mind, he was wasting money and just making a mess.
So anyways, we ended up, this is like right around when COVID hit, 2020, around June, July. We ended up looking for a house and buying a house in August. It had a 3-car garage on it. And if I was really smart, I would have sent Austin a bunch of cool photos beforehand so he could put them up, but I kind of missed that deadline. But anyway, so I bought this house. I got my CNC plasma in there, hooked up. And actually, the very first thing I cut on it outside of a few scratches was actually a sign for Guido on here. Yeah. And then after I cut that sign for Guido, I started making some catalytic converter protection plates. That absolutely took off. And I remember like the point where I got to say, like, I told you so to my wife and Liv was I had like a stack of 20s, you know, like $1,000. I walked in and I dropped it on her lap. She's like, what's that for? I was like, that's that plasma table you thought was a piece of junk. She was all like, that's a lot of money. I thought you were going to like maybe get a 6-pack from your buddies, you know?
And so now I don't question when he wants to buy a new machine.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, you know, that took off. I ended up building a larger CNC plasma within a couple months of that one, just because I really got lucky and fell into this market. I don't know if you've ever heard of Gary Ramsey of Ramsey Customs or Ramsey Machine. He used to be a YouTuber. He sold a lot of machines, and he was in his very early career when I met him. So we ended up buying a press brake from him. Nowhere near as fancy as the press brake we have now. It was his most basic, cheapest machine. I remember buying it and thinking, I hope I actually have enough money to pay for this. Got that. After that happened, that was really the thing that really kind of started helping us really make some good products. So we had gone from originally the Tundra to a couple more products. So we had like 3 different vehicles at that time, maybe 4, maybe the Tacoma 2. And I started building a bigger shop on my property. And I got a lot of calls from the HOA on that, and a lot of attention. And I also kind of realized that like that shop was not going to be done fast enough or big enough to actually do the job in. And it was a 30 by 40, 1,200 square feet. And then I still have my 3-car garage. So we ended up renting a 5,000 square foot warehouse, 10 minutes from our house. Around that same time, I called my friend Gary again and said, hey, I want to buy a laser. You know, I was once again like, oh, I hope I can actually pay for this, but I'm pretty sure I can. Moved in that shop, immediately kind of filled it up. I think like 3 months after getting that shop, the laser finally showed up. Got that into place. So that's where we really took off. Oh, so we started making catalytic converter protection plates, but currently that has molded into a off-road skid plates. So engine, transmission, transfer case, fuel tank in a lot of cases, and what we really hope to do is expand to you know, other off-road accessories. We have a bed rack that we are in development, some rock sliders. Yeah. Bigger battery laser. Ran that for like a year as is. It was awesome. I started developing more and more products and quickly realized that like, man, bending all these products on this press brake is getting to be hard. And it wasn't so much that the press brake couldn't do its job. It was, how do I get someone to remember 6,000 different, you know, products and know how to bend each one? So I started making this like booklet of pictures and that took way too much time and I'm not that patient, a little too ADD for that. So I threw money at the idea and I bought a bigger, better press brake, which is right behind me. Yeah, 21,000 pounds. It will break holes in concrete if you put it on a forklift. Ask me how I know.
And we got rid of the binder, and now it shows all the different bend profiles.
Yeah, the awesome thing about the press brake is it shows all of the parts we were making in a 3D image and how to bend them. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome tool. Yeah, and then that same time we also bought a Lauer edge rounding machine, which I'll show you all in a little bit, and 3D scanner and a few other cool toys. So that kind of brings us to, so yeah, we're in that shop, we're pumping away, we have the laser, press brake, all that. Brings up December. This is the story a lot of people on my thread in the trailer park will know. Basically, I asked my landlord to renew for 1 year because, you know, the catalytic converter theft market thing, that hit really hard. We were like the only ones doing it. It was amazing. And then it went away as quick as it came. Luckily, you know, I've been making new products and whatnot, so we've kept afloat, but nowhere near as nice as, you know, the glory days of being the only one. My landlord wanted to renew, or I asked to renew with my landlord for 1 year. Because, you know, Trump had not been elected yet. We didn't know what was going to happen with either party if they got elected. We still don't know what's going to happen. I wanted to have flexibility and not put myself in like a bad position. And the landlord basically said, no, we only want to do 3 to 5 year leases. And I kind of came back like, you know, this place is half empty. Are you sure? And I didn't respond. So that literally put me into panic mode. At that point, I determined I was not going to stay at that place for any longer than a year, and I was not going to move into another place to rent. So we started looking for the cheapest, most ran down warehouses we could find, which took us to Mississippi. Poplarville, Mississippi.
I'm glad you guys didn't end up in Crackhead, Mississippi, because the new place is way better than that one.
Poplarville was a very, very nice town. That warehouse had a little to wish for.
It left a lot to be desired.
It had a few holes in the roof. Didn't have a bathroom. It had some questionable school buses in the backyard that probably had meth addicts living in them. But yeah, anyways, yeah, you know, good for business, you know. Hey, you go steal a whole bunch. I'm getting poor. I need to pay the electric bill. Anyways.
That'd be like the tire shop that throws nails out in front of his shop to make flat tires. Like Sean has like a platoon of meth heads to go steal catalytic converters.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, he came back. I was still in like panic mode, like, oh, what do I do? Well, I found this place popped up for sale like 3 days after we got home. And I really went and looked at it, and the realtor was like showing it to us and stuff. I was like, I'll pay cash this amount. And she's like, I think I can make that work. So the problem was, you know, this place was 3,000 square feet at the time, and my current place was about 4,500 minus 800 of office, so about 4,200 square feet. So I had to add on a bunch, and we can probably show you around, but that's basically the story up to today. Oh, well, that's a secret. Remember, Austin? I don't know what you're talking about. So anyways, I'm going to do a little 360. And if this gimbal fails, it's Austin's fault. Where we're standing at right now is the original shop that was standing here. Out front there was just an awning. And I think how I want to show you stuff is order of production. So here's that laser I was talking about. It's a 6 kilowatt laser capable of cutting up to 1 inch thick steel. It rapids at like 3,000 inches a minute. I am way too afraid to have it up that high, so I turn it down to like 1,500 because I have hit my laser head on parts that have tipped up before, and it's a very sad day. As you can see, production parts that we cut today. And I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna show y'all it cut something, I think, or it blow up. You never know with this laser. So those of you that don't know anything about laser cutting, this is the gantry. It moves up and down, left and right. The head, laser head is right here. And this is where like the fiber optic cable comes in. Basically, there is a big box up top that is the laser source. It makes the light. It goes through a fiber optic cable, shoots out, and cuts through that material. And let me make sure it's in a good position. And we're going to cut it real quick. I hit the wrong button. All right, now we're going to cut.
Where's the sparks? That's more better. Hey, Sean, I am super glad to see my old engine hoist still faithfully serving you, loading up plate onto the rack there, buddy. I think he's distracted by a bright, shiny object. He'll be back in a minute.
I bet he can't hear anything.
So it is upside down. Let's see if I can pick this up if it's too hot. But if you do not know that, what that means, you're not a true irate.
All right, that's better than the F-bomb ones. I like that one, Mo better.
Yeah, created today all myself. Own the rights to it. We're going to sell millions of them on the shop. We haven't set pricing yet. So, yeah.
Hey, Sean, I don't think you heard me because the laser was going. I was like, I'm glad to see that my old engine hoist is still going strong there for you, buddy.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Thank you, Guido. He gave me this engine hoist like 6 years ago, and it has probably moved over 1 million pounds of steel now.
The guy has 2 forklifts, still uses my engine hoist to put his plates on the table. Love it.
I have a $6,000 vacuum plate lifter sitting on my front back porch at my trailer that I just need time to hook up to a crane that I need to build.
My front back porch on my trailer. You redneck motherfucker.
This is a country song.
Anyways, someone mute Guido. After the plates are cut, coming through the laser, you know, it's a very nice edge, but it still has a bit of a burr. Might be some surface imperfections. At that point, we run it through this machine here. This is our edge rounder. Has 4 different motors on it. Coming around back, I'll show you what the consumables look like. The front is basically like a Scotch-Brite pad. You can put like sandpaper on it or any type of media you want to use to sand the plates, and it will work. The back, I use these brushes. They have Scotch-Brite and then like sandpaper woven in, and basically as it comes by, it just kind of grabs the plate, edge of the plate, and lets it and takes off that little burr and makes a nice round edge. Good for accepting powder coat.
Oh man, that's cool. That's way better than an old drum sander.
That drum sander is right here. I still use it for all of our steel products. You know, oil we get our material pickled and oiled. That oil is really hard to remove unless you send it through a sander, and it puts a nice grit on it for powder coat to stick. So we still run all of our peel parts through here, and then they come over to here to get the brush treatment to round off those edges.
Nice. That's pretty
These
slick.
things are not cheap. They're about $400 a piece, but they last about 3 to 6 months. So it kind of boils down to like less than $1 a plate. So yeah, a really expensive one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A floor buffer.
So coming around here, this whole area is basically been to be storage for plates that have been sanded and are ready to be bent. Some of you may remember me like talking about how much of a pain I was having keeping all these plates organized for production. And so I made these little racks that let me keep them vertical, kind of like over here. And it has literally solved all of my problems with that aspect. Because, you know, before we'd stack plates up and that was great and all, except the plate we needed was always the one on the bottom of the stack. So then you're moving, you know, 200 pounds worth of
all
plates.
the time, every time.
Yeah, all the time. My lovely boxes I've been talking about, and then we get to the press brake. This is by far my favorite machine because it always works. Always turns on. It's always dead on. It is a Mitsubishi, so this is my first like name brand machine, and it has just made life so much easier. And I'm trying to find a good example of a program.
That looks way better than your sketchbook.
Yeah, it is a lot better. So here we have a basically a part here, and it shows the flat on the screen like it would be on the press brake right over here. And then if I don't know how to bend this, I can tab through and it will show me every step. So super, super handy. The other nice thing is it will keep all the detail of the plates on here. So I can look up, so I don't know how well you can all see that. It's a small screen. But I can basically look at it and figure out, okay, which orientation do I have to have this part in to start? All the information is right here. The only thing it doesn't have is for certain parts, say if I wanted to check the total width between these flanges, it doesn't have that stored in the machine anywhere. It does have the flange height stored on there, but I can actually upload SolidWorks prints on here if I wanted to, which could have that data. So this machine is my favorite. I love it. It does everything I need it to, and it just works every time. A little toolbox here. It's kind of a mess. Over here is my welding area. Welding is probably like my least favorite thing anymore because, you know, it's hot and tiring and kind of the same thing over and over.
Better get a chain on those bottles, man.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, they're pretty decent size. My welding area is still kind of a wreck. I haven't gotten it where I want it to be yet. I definitely want to add like a shelf somewhere between the press brake and the welding area to basically keep plates as they're ready to weld. Here is one plate that I'm ready to weld, and I'm just going to show you the laser. Has those nice slots. Everything I build is self-jigging, and the laser has allowed me to do that. So now it just will perfectly fit in, except for when I'm on camera. There we go. So boom, ready to weld. Don't have to measure it, don't have to think about it. Throw a couple beads on it, make sure it's 90 and go to town.
Hey, Sean, what do you usually use for that? Is that MIG or TIG?
So we are MIG welding everything. We have my Miller 350P is hooked up to a push-pull gun. And basically this pushes aluminum wire, but it also has a roller inside of it to pull the wire through. Aluminum wire is extremely easy to bend. So by pulling the wire and pushing it, it keeps us from bird nesting as bad. As you can tell, I have done quite a few times.
Easy to do on aluminum.
Easy to do. Yeah, I am. Actually, I'm working on going up in wire size. I have been working on it myself a lot. The nice thing about losing all the employees is I'm finding all the problems of the shop as I run all production by myself. Yeah, so then as we go to hire again, it will be much better for them. Sorry, guys, that used to work for me in case you're watching, which I don't think you are. Anyway, so that was welding. From there, from the press brake or from welding, plates either go one or two places. Here to my wife's packing area. Notice how nice and neat it is.
Except the trash that Sean leaves on my station.
Except for the trash I left, which is the box for Austin's gimbal and the tracking label because I don't want to lose it. Oh, and my breakfast bowl.
It's always Sean's fault.
You know, she walks between the house and the shop like 6 times a day to say hi to the dogs. So I try to be efficient and, you know, put things in a place to get back. Yeah. Anyway, so out here, we're going to turn the lights on. Those are those LED UFO lights on Amazon. They're like $30 a piece. I absolutely love them. I actually replaced all the, you can see the old lighting sitting there against the wall. I actually replaced all of them in the shop, and it's been great. So make it out here. This is our powder coating area. I have a 8 foot by 8 foot by I think 8 foot Columbia coating powder coat room. I've powder coating booth. And then over here is my 12 foot long, 6 foot wide by 6 foot tall Columbia coating oven. And here is our 420 gallon propane tank. Oh, your gimbal broke again, I think.
I just think in a couple months you won't even need any propane. It's Texas. It'll be like 9,000 degrees inside that oven already without any help.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
Be
why I
hotter
haven't
inside.
seen Guido in a long time.
Be nice.
No, I love you, man. Hey, the shop was looking great, man. The
Yeah.
last time I saw it, it was still partially together, man. You've done some awesome work
Yeah.
on that, dude.
We'll walk out front real quick. Still kind of a disaster out here, but this front room was originally just the awning, and I enclosed this in myself in about a week, along with add another building on the side here, which we're about to go. There's forklift number 2. That was a great anniversary present for my wife. She was very happy with it.
Oh, Sean, you're so thoughtful. I love
We have
you.
material storage here. And then, so after powder coating, after everything's done, we have all of our plates in here to basically ready to ship, boxed up, ready to go.
It's pretty professional.
1 second. I need to shut off some stuff so I can hear. All right, so in here, I also have, you know, our bathroom, which I need to enclose in. Original toilet that came with the shop. Hasn't been washed yet, but I did move it. Have my 80-gallon Kohler Eaton Express air compressor. Puts out something like 30 CFM a minute, 10 horsepower. Super quiet. Moving over here, I have my 25 horsepower rotary compressor, which feeds the laser. This is a specialty compressor just for lasers. It goes up to 300 PSI and will put out like 100 CFM. Has a refrigerant driver built on, which I also have another refrigerant dryer here for my air compressor. And then this right here is my desiccant dryer, which goes to the laser. And then my final piece of equipment over here is my Dust collector for the laser, basically sucks all the dust out of the air and puts it into a nice little bin, nice and neat. We will walk out back real quick. It is still a disaster from basically building this shop. I can't wait to make my first scrap run and clean everything out. Over there is our little mobile home now that we moved into. And this area is mostly going to be where I keep all my scrap, waiting to go to the scrap yard.
Man,
Big old
watch out for
tree.
creepers, man, they'll steal your shit.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the shop. We're back in the main area now, and I'm back to my beer, which I should have brought with me. Yeah.
Hey, Sean, I don't know if you heard me earlier because you were walking out, but man, that's fucking impressive, dude. Last time I saw the shop, you were still working on it, and that's really awesome, dude.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna turn. Yeah, it's definitely going to be very nice as we continue to grow. As long as it all works out, you know. Three weeks ago, we moved all of our equipment. I talked about press brake and going through the floor. 80,000 pound forklift, 100-pound or a 21,000-pound press brake. That's about 100,000 pounds. Broke right through the concrete there, over here, and then right here.
Hey, so those guys you hired to move that shit for you, what about that?
That worked out really well. I mean, minus the issues with the floor, which was unfortunate, but you know, most riggers will tell you as they hire you, like, we're not responsible for anything under us. Because you know, we don't know what's there. We can charge you a lot more to bring a lot of plate, or you can just wing it. Thankfully, the brand new concrete in front held up because I was most nervous about that. But yeah, that's all I got with it. Kind of worked out because it went about 4 or 5 hours over, and I used that as my negotiation tactic. Like, you know, you don't charge me those extra hours, I won't say anything about that concrete. Yeah. So I believe it's about 40 years old. The previous owner used to work on boats in here, and he used to run a semi-truck repair business. Yeah. And yeah, I've been real popular in the neighborhood as people drive by and see this one guy building this shop by myself. I think I have changed the neighborhood's perspective of what a millennial is.
Mm-hmm. Even had a constable show up.
Yeah, even had the cops show up. Yeah, he just wanted to stop in and be like, oh, wow, this is real cool. I had to see this. We were in northwest corner of Houston, so Cypress. That's where I wanted to move. I wanted to move to Mississippi.
No, this is way better than going to Mississippi.
Yes.
Well, the place in Mississippi was about an hour and a half away from Pensacola, which has some really good scuba diving, and that's kind of like where our hobby is.
Yeah.
I think one of your questions earlier was, how did I get into off-road and what sparked that passion? And how did I get involved with this community? I mean, I've been involved in this community, the irate community, since like high school when I first logged on to the internet and went on different forums and stuff. And I was always too afraid to post there, but would lurk a lot.
Why were you afraid to post on irate?
They can be a little rough crowd back then, you know? Anyway, so I always had interest in off-roading. I had never really been off-road except for mudding a few times up until the point where my good friend Guido here finally took me one day. Met Guido on the other site we will not talk about. We both bonded because we're both helicopter pilots for the Army, and became very good friends. Somewhere around 2017, he went on his scout trip in his really badass Power Stroke swapped International Scout, and we went wheeling, and I was hooked. And literally anytime I was sick of school and wanted to quit, I would think about, well, I can either wheel a XJ or I can wheel something a lot cooler. And so that kept me going with school. The cool thing about Guido being the first one to take me off-roading, several years later when this company kind of took off a little bit more and we started going to events across the country, I got to take my friend Guido all the way to Utah, tow his junk up there to go to Moab and Hurricane. So that was kind of an awesome thing to do. He was the first guy to take me wheeling, and then I took him to where his childhood dream of wheeling was. So
yeah, that was awesome, dude. That's probably I could have died a happy man after that trip, dude. We go to Moab.
You almost did die a happy man that trip.
Everything that I ever wanted to do since I was 15 years old was go wheeling at Moab. And that was a really fucking awesome trip, dude.
Yeah, that was cool.
We had a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah, that totally happened by accident. So let me just tell you how I met Sean. So he had a seized up drive shaft, and he was looking for somebody that had a hydraulic press that could press out his drive shaft. So I said, yeah, man, I'm in corporate, so I'll help you out. He was still in school at the time. And, I didn't know him from Adam, but hey, he was on the place. I don't care. All right, anyway, so he shows up. All right, we fix it up, and hey, man, you're supposed to put some grease in this thing every once in a while, right? And yeah, we just hit it off. I was a retired Black Hawk pilot. He was he was still in the reserves, I think, at the time, of National Guard. And so yeah, we absolutely hit it off, right? See right up here, the little Black Hawk in the background. So yeah, we just hit up. This is what, probably 10, 12 years ago. Anyway, it's been a good trip, man. But yeah, so Sean and I met because of a busted drive shaft on that other place. And by the way, Austin, I want to thank you, man, for carrying the torch and moving us over to another awesome platform. And you got a fucking awesome beard game too, by the way. But yeah, I took Sean four-wheeling in my Scout, and then to watch this develop from a four-wheeling trip or a broken drive shaft to a four-wheeling trip to a homemade plasma cutter to a 40-foot laser to I'm making more money selling skid plates than I am as a nurse.
Not true. Not true.
Yeah, no, come on. That is 100% true.
Allegedly.
That is 100% true.
And that's the thing with being in business. You're going to have your high years and your low years. And you know what? We'll be transparent. Our first couple of years, yeah, I definitely made enough where I quit my job quicker than ever. But that was the easy part of business ownership. Now we're in the hard part where we're like, man, we could easily leave this and go make more money as nurses. But then that's all we're ever going to be. You're not going to have any chance to grow it into something bigger.
Hey, don't worry. There's always going to be crackheads stealing shit. So you're fine, dude. You're going to be good.
Yeah, it's nice. I like having my own schedule. I don't know if I like doing all the work myself, but it's doable. And eventually I'm going to get back to where we want to be of, being a pretty full-time production shop, running that laser 5 days a week and pumping out parts. So people like Austin can enjoy them. The other Austin. He has been
Hey,
quiet.
Sean has put in some serious work for this shit.
Yeah, buddy.
Man. I tell you,
I'm
he
here.
is definitely. I mean, he basically built out that whole entire building. When I saw it, 3 months ago, it did not look like that. So that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. The nice thing is we have everything up and running now. It's just running production and getting caught up there. And then I have a bunch of little pet projects I want to do, kind of like retire Guido's old engine hoist with a nice crane system.
No, that's gonna get fucking chrome, like 24 karat gold polish on it. It's gonna be in history as a founding member of Talon's Garage.
That thing looks like a pain in the ass to deal with. I see him
Guido's
pushing it
just starting
around
to
with
trip over it.
sheets of metal on it.
It's a lot of fun when you have a
come on,
300-pound
Crystal,
sheet.
you know you love me.
You have a 300-pound sheet of steel on it, and you hit like a 1/4-inch thick piece of steel that absolutely stops you in your tracks. Yeah.
And then it slid off the hook. Yeah, yesterday it slid off to the floor. So that was
Obviously,
good.
you've never been skateboarding in the 80s, bro.
Yeah.
How's it going? Yeah, dude, you guys are right. I've been here the whole time. It's actually I'm not on irate as much as I probably should be, because I know that's a lot of help, and there's a lot of really awesome people, i.e. Sean that I met, and my buddy Shane. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm new to the irate, but I'm out here in Santa Cruz. I got one of my Yodas behind me. And then, yeah, I'm sure you guys saw in my video going before.
How about you tell us how we met, Austin?
Hey, Austin,
So me and Sean both have two-door. I guess I should go to the side here. You guys can actually see it. We both have two-door Broncos, and he decided to buy himself some fancy portals, or I don't know how he got them, but he got the you got the Tybus ones, right?
Yeah, I got the ones with Bronkbuster.
Yeah,
sexual favors.
I had done, obviously, as you could tell, I had done the upgrades to my Bronco. I had my stock wheels, which come to find out are the exact perfect offset for most people that are buying portals. And my good buddy Shane, a lot of you guys you guys might know him, you might not. He's Too Big Bronco on irate there. He's an amazing dude. He's hell, he got my job as an iron worker practically. I mean, he's just a really cool guy. But yeah, me and him both got Broncos, and he was on there talking with Sean at one point about portals, and Sean was saying he would needed the same wheels that Shane looked up, and I had them, and Sean said, "Hey, you want to trade some wheels for a skid kit?" And I said, "Fuck yeah." I mean, I couldn't have gotten as much money as that skid kit was worth if I had waited for. I mean, if I had waited for a really long time and sold them one by one as somebody curbed their wheels, I could probably have gotten all my money that I really wanted out of them. But this was the best way to go about it, and I mean, I'm 100% in love with this kit. I mean, it's unreal. You can tell that I'm giving her work.
Giving it the business, baby.
Dude, I drive like an asshole, and I like driving like an asshole. And that being said, how straight this thing is amazing. And the ease of this thing when I installed it was just, I mean, the way that he sectioned it all out and made everything the way it is, Spider, the way he sectioned everything out, it really made it really easy. I really should have. I feel bad. I do have all the footage still. I'm gonna pull it up one of these days, but I time lapsed my install, and of the whole skid kit. As you can tell, you can kind of tell, maybe not. I need the gas tank one eventually. I'm bending the shit out of the fucking stock one. You can see where I do a little bit of bending, but like I said, I drive like an ass. I've pirouetted. I've done full circles almost in this thing, and people are shocked and appalled as I spin around in a circle, and they're like, "Aren't you worried?" And I go, "Nope, not at all." So I mean,
drive
it's
my Braille. I'm not worried. I have Talon's garage skid plates.
oh, dude, I'm constantly saying that, dude. I've talked to your company up a bunch. I don't know if anybody's ever bought a kit because of me, but I know that I've given your information out hundreds of times. I mean, I've been out in Death Valley. I go out in Death Valley almost every year, and we go and do about 150 miles or so off road.
Yeah, and honestly, that word of mouth is one of the best sellers we have. Just, hearing from someone, oh yeah, I wheel this and it really works. That goes a long way versus seeing some Google ad that I paid to have thrown out there that says I'm good. Of course I'm going to say I'm good. So yeah, I appreciate you spreading the word. And honestly, that's the best thing you do. A lot of people on Pirate, they build their own stuff and don't want to buy bolt-on stuff. That's cool. But we're still here, and tell your friends,
Definitely, dude. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. And I mean, I've got guys that are looking. It's got a 2012, I think, Tacoma, and he was out in Death Valley with me, and he was like, do they make the kit? And I'm like, I don't know. When we get the service, I'll let you know, and we'll we'll get going, dude. So, I mean, there's a lot of people here. I really got a lot of faith in it taking off for you, man. It's just I know how the business goes. Sometimes it's a bitch, dude.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. You guys are like once again. I mean, I don't know who else is listening to this. I mean, with everything that's been going on, I'm sorry, I forget your wife's name again, Sean.
Crystal.
I mean, she's been amazing throughout all of it too. She's on the social media helping out. Like, she's the one that I contact occasionally when Sean's busy as hell. And I mean, I had a horrible experience with Ford, and they ended up losing skid plate bolts and leaving them completely loose. Like, they left the whole engine skid. Like, when I stopped on my road because I heard it banging again.
Oh wow!
I got out and went under and looked, and I mean, I didn't realize. I mean, it was holding on by like one bolt. The rest of them were all loose. One was missing completely. And when that happened, they had a new whole bolt kit out to me real quick, dude. I mean, that was epic because I was bummed about that. I mean, don't go to the dealership. Dealerships suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, and pleasure to meet all you guys. And Austin, I appreciate you doing all this, man. It's nice to meet another Austin, first of all. And I didn't realize that we were going to be on with the guy who kind of took over and made the move over. I mean, that I appreciate, because once again, I mean, I've talked with Tyler and from Bronc Busters and all bunch of not a bunch, but a decent amount of people off hired it. And I mean, every one of you people are amazing. It's unreal. as far as I've met so far. So. Nice. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that guy, he's, like I said, I mean, me and him literally were across San Francisco airport working the night shift, and we literally ordered our Broncos like within 10 minutes of each other. He sent me the confirmation, and I was like, oh, you bastard, you did it already. But aside of that, I mean, that guy, I've been on road trips with the guy where he just hands down was just like, oh hey, I like this guy from Irate needed me to go and pick this up, so we're gonna go and spend $5,000 for this guy that I've never met once before, and go and drive it over to him. And I mean, it boggled my mind, but I mean, but it's like the community, and then just his nature in general too, like just kind of shows you what it is, you know. So good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's like anybody's like, you know, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, right.
You run into it, it's like, I've never met you in person, but it's okay. I trust you because of this right here. All right.
Yep.
That's
Every guy, every person that I've
amazing.
met through Shane, going to the random little things that we go and little road trips and drop offs and hammers meets, they've all just been epic and one of a kind people, honestly.
So the biggest thing we do is, I mean, I already have a list of things I want to work on, but you know, as customers email us and say, hey, do you make something for this? The Land Cruiser 100 and 200 series, that whole design process started because we had people emailing us all the time. Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have, you know, we keep a list of how often we get emailed. And basically that has driven a lot of the design process. Of course, with the Bronco, it came out, it was new. It didn't have the technology back then to really do it. I wanted to be the first one to market with the skid plate package, but got to sit around, watch what everyone else did and what everyone complained about, and watch the forums about, oh, this is good, this is bad. Oh no, it broke again.
Yep.
And yeah. So a lot of forums, a lot of customer emails, and kind of just following around and lurking and seeing what people were talking about. Uh-oh, is it green? Come on. Oh, it automatically turned off. Oh no, the battery light's blinking.
What, you guys don't make skid plates for 1965 International Scouts? I hate you.
Yeah, what about 85s, man? I mean, I'm bending the shit out of my fucking out of my links. My skid plate's taking a beating.
No, the whole vehicle is.
Yeah, that's the one that I got a real good buddy, and he said you need to get yourself a vehicle you don't give a shit about, and I have a lot of fun in that one.
Just take it off.
That is true. The give a shit factor definitely factors in. How much do I give about this?
That's why if you
Or do I have to drive it home?
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that made a significant difference in my four-wheeling attitude. Right? Because for a long time, I drove to go four-wheeling, and I had to drive back home. So I'm like, maybe I'm not going to try that. Right? But Sean, sorry ass, he's like, hey, man, we'll put it on a trailer, and we take it with you. I didn't start breaking shit until I met Sean. I didn't break anything until I met Sean. Right? Like, we got a trailer. All right, no problem. We'll take this. So, hey, Weldon, what do you drive?
What do I drive?
Yes, sir.
Man, so I came to the other unmentioned site in a K5, a 75 K5, and I had similar stories. I never broke anything, but if you're stock on 33s, it's just hard to break stuff. So that didn't last very long because I got older and had to get a job and all kinds of stuff. And so I had simultaneously, I had an El Camino. Well, I had two, but I had a Pro Street El Camino that I had built with my dad when I was in high school. So that was like my, I don't know what you call it. My adrenaline fix, I guess, would be. So my Blazer was my daily driver. I had to sell that, and then I got a OBS 4 diesel to tow the El Camino to the drag strip. And then I got married, moved, and basically all the fun stuff stopped. And so now
Not here.
have I know.
Hey.
I know. I'm not jealous, but I'm jealous.
Like Crystal, who is supportive and loving of your off-road activities.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm probably, well, I'm sure there's a bunch now because we've been here so long, but I have a side-by-side and a dirt bike is what I have, and I haven't had an off-road vehicle in 20 something years. So there's more to irate 4x4 than 4x4s, I guess I would say. Yeah. That's my dad's. I don't know if this is working at all. It's a 66 Suburban.
Oh, very nice.
That thing's sick.
Yeah, it's my dad's, and he passed, and we built it together. So my mom's like, the whole time she's like, whatever it is, you're having it when he dies. And I was like, well, I hope he's not dying. And he wasn't at the time, but he did.
Oh.
So I got it, and so now I have two things I don't have time for, but I do take it to the parts store. If I go to the parts store, I'm taking the Suburban. It's a giant pain in my ass because it's the only, I got a 30. Great call, Sean, on not doing the 30x40 situation, because 30x40 is not big enough for a lawnmower and a side-by-side.
Well, that 30x40 was originally supposed to be just in front of my 3-car garage, move into it, tear down the 3-car garage, and then expand back to 40x60.
And I wish I had a photo so you could see how ridiculous that shop is next to our 1-story ranch style brick house.
That's 1,600 square feet.
Yeah,
Our house is 1,900 square feet, and the shop is 2,400 square feet with a 20-foot peak.
And this is how my wife
yeah.
won Wife of the Award or Wife of the Year from Iron 4x4.
I get it. Yeah,
Well,
I
you
get
kind
it.
of promised me that we would tear down the house and build a custom house there, but that
That's
hasn't
right.
happened.
That's coming.
Now we live in a 40-foot long mobile home right next to this shop.
With a front porch, back porch combo. I mean,
That back porch is bigger than the house.
That back porch is bigger than our house in Houston.
That is huge. Yeah. And
Okay.
he still gave me that promise that we would build a house here. So we'll see.
I think it's going to happen. He seems like he's motivated.
Greater in square footage than the shop next to it.
You know, every year so this is how I know my wife is never going to leave me. She is an absolute diehard Cowboys fan. And every year the Dallas Cowboys come out and they're like, we're going to win. We're going to do great. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. And they disappoint and their fans stay right there. I love you, babe.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
I felt
disappointment,
that.
is what he's saying.
I just trust truth from time to time.
Yeah.
I felt it. I've lived here for 45 years. I felt it.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Nah, bullshit. You turn
Um,
a 5x10 fucking homemade plasma cutter into a multi-million-dollar
Well,
business. Come on, seriously.
You know, I think the biggest thing that helps me is I go back to my military training. And if you have a problem, or don't come to me with a problem, come to me with solutions. So you have a problem, identify it and figure out a fix. And you know, your first fix might not always be the right one, but keep trying to move forward and adjust. And you know, that's definitely been very helpful. Try to have a plan and be a couple steps ahead of the plan. There's a 7 P's: proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Huge part of all of this. If I had, you know, 4 years ago when we were hot and heavy, just didn't think ahead, we'd be bankrupt and closed by now. So not the plans always work, but it's nice to have one or two or three or six.
Proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
yeah, he tells me that all the time.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
annoying.
this is not a flex, but I know a lot of entrepreneurs and self-employed folks that have just killed it. I mean, they went from nothing to huge companies. And the one thing, Crystal's not going to appreciate this, but the one thing that they all have is balls. And if you got what you've got and you quit, I mean, just making the moves, like you say, to run your plan, that's what it takes. I mean, you see the problem and then you just attack. Me, I have my own fabrication company that I try to run simultaneously with my full-time job, and I fail at both because I don't have the balls to just get off of one and do the other.
That was hard. I
bet.
fought him for a while because I mean, I went to school for 7 years to
Yep.
be a nurse practitioner and graduated in June of 2020. And by about September or October of that same year, he had already dragged me into the business. And I was working, you know, 40 plus hours at the clinic, coming home and fulfilling orders for you know, pickup.
Yeah.
And it was exhausting. And you're right, you're burning the candle from both ends when you're
Yep.
working 2 jobs. I mean, there's no way to keep both.
No.
If you really want to be successful at your business.
Yeah.
So I fought him for a while, you know, like, oh, what about the, you know, I was trying to play both sides, you know. I cared for the clinic, you know, staff
Sure.
that I worked for, you know, what about the doctors? I can't leave them, and my patients. And then he was on the other end of that saying, you know, well, you're picking them over your husband. And, you know, it was hard, and I fought him, and, you know, I didn't want to, and I still didn't completely give up being a nurse practitioner. I
Right.
do work as needed to keep my license up. I mean, I'd be kind of stupid to give that up, but
Yeah, for sure.
so now, yeah, we do this full time, and you know, it took me some time to realize that, you know, there was some success ahead, and to just kind of trust him and trust the process, and know that everything's going to be okay. And even in our bad days, I know that I can still trust him. And, you know, worst case scenario, oh no, I'll go back to being a nurse practitioner and he'll go back to being a nurse anesthetist, which,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know, financially we were fine before, so we
Yeah.
could just go back to that anyway. So having a backup plan is another, you know, kind of security blanket
Sure.
to just going full force into running a company. So,
Yeah, I definitely feel like I cheated in a lot of ways, in that I had a lot of things that really helped me into this. And I've really been able to, through my eyes, do it pretty low risk, as far as like, it's still impossible. I mean, we're out of money right now from buying this property, and we would make way more working our day jobs than we would this job right now, for sure, guaranteed at least. But we're still like not going to be in financial ruin. Like, I've been able to keep us in that safe spot, and that definitely makes things a lot easier as a
Yeah.
business owner.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I agree, because yeah, getting started, we didn't have to, I guess, get out a bunch of loans. That would have been scary.
Yeah.
But luckily, you know, financially, we set ourselves up, not even knowing it, we set ourselves up financially to be able get a good jump start on this company. Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, and it was a lot to drag her away from there, and we definitely had some spirited discussions about it. But I would say getting my wife involved in the business full time was definitely the smartest thing I did, because now she understands like what it takes and what we're doing together, instead of like us. We're both in like the same season now.
Yeah.
And we both have the freedom to go do things together, where if she was still working her nurse practitioner job, she only got like 2 weeks off a year. You would have missed Moab,
Yeah.
Utah,
Yeah.
Catempsy multiple times.
It was hard to get away from the clinic.
Oh, what happened?
You turn green.
Oh, I disappeared.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Oh.
I don't know what I was saying.
We're talking about being off because we.
Oh yeah, it was hard to get time off from the clinic. I mean, you got obviously, you're at someone else's time, and
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of flexibility with running your own business, and that part's enjoyable.
I don't know anybody that punches a clock, and that's not to diminish your profession, but anybody that works for someone else, you don't ever have the freedom that you can't.
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Either financially or mentally or physically. It's not the same. Now you also get some sleepless nights.
I won't lie. I still work part-time at MD Anderson doing anesthesia. I get to do some of the biggest, most awesome cases like in the world. And I sign up for all of them because, that is like a vacation sometimes from this
I was going to say.
flaming dumpster fire.
Yep. Especially when you're good at it. Especially like when you're good at it, you know what to do and you get to go do it. And the stuff that you're doing here at Talon's Garage is more like it's constant problem solving, which sometimes you feel like you can't even fix a sandwich. And it's good. It's good to go do something that you, yeah. That's how I mean, there's some, like, I love at my day job, I love all the hard stuff that no one else can figure out. But man, sometimes you just get whooped. And it's good to have something like, okay, let me just go, change a clutch. Normally I'd be like, I don't want to ever change a clutch, but sometimes I just give me something I can finish.
Yeah. Make me feel good.
Exactly. Boost me back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he really gets me out of my comfort zone in this sweatshop is what I call it. I mean, as y'all know, he's, a veteran, so he's very, military trained, and he expects me to be military trained too. And those 7 Ps he mentioned earlier are always thrown in my face.
Oh no, they're not.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they are.
Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance is.
One day you'll get them right.
Yeah. That and come to me with solutions, not problems. And
I only give you what I know you're capable of doing.
Okay. I have to play that song for him. I'm just a girl, because he forgets that I'm just a girl.
Yep. I noticed your shipping and receiving area looks like it'd be perfect to get wrapped with some kind of shower curtains and a window unit installed. And, we could climate control your half.
I like that idea.
I like that idea too, of putting her into a separate room, because the most annoying sound in the world is hearing that tape gun go over and over and over. And especially when I'm having a bad day, like, trying to focus on something really in depth, and it's like, oh, kill me. She's getting that air conditioning shop as soon as we can.
That's product going out the door, man.
That's what
Sometimes
when I
do
come
it on
home.
purpose.
Yeah, when I come home and I smell like oil, and my wife's like, "Oh my God, you stink so bad." I'm like, "That's the smell of money." I mean,
Oh man, that's too funny.
No.
Oh, show them your thingy that you made.
Oh yeah, we got the bottle opener out.
oh yeah,
I don't know if you saw it earlier, but I have. It does work.
It's functional, yeah.
oh yeah, that's what you use. Yeah,
Yeah. How I should go get another beer and show them. I'll be right back.
yeah, yeah. Double check.
Yeah,
it.
you got to test your product, man.
We do. How far are we now from Pearland?
Hey, where are they?
Oh, they're inside.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's probably a good 2-hour drive, but I tell you what, is having good friends. So about 2 months ago,
Oh.
all right, I was coming back from a 4-wheeling trip up in Marble Falls area, and had a little accident, and I had to get my broken tow rig back to Pearland down in south of Houston. And thankfully, Sean was in Summersville, and he had a trailer and he had a truck that were sufficient to recover my broken shit. And I will tell you that it is good to have good friends, because Sean squared me away. He took care of me. I came and borrowed his truck and his trailer, and it was about a 24-hour time period that was not so great, but Sean came through in spades and helped me out tremendously. And that's the thing. It's all friendship that started out probably 10, 12 years ago, probably. That I was like, oh, man, I'm stuck out here. I'm 5 hours from home, and I'm broken and I need help. And who helped me? Sean helped me. And I tell you, that is a tremendous just the family of the off-roading community and the irate community is I was like, all right, I need help. Where am I at? Who can help me? And I called Sean, and he helped me. And I tell you, that right there is just tremendous. And I got home, got all my stuff home, got all my broken shit home. And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then that day, the end of the day, you messed up the truck.
Yeah, then the end of that day, after I loaned my truck to my buddy, I towed his broken ambulance home, I forgot to put the tailgate down on my F450 before I pulled away from the gooseneck trailer. Oops.
That was not my fault.
You know what they say? No good deed goes unpunished.
Right? And it's a 22. It's a newer F450.
Lots of sensors and cameras.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about how much that's going to cost me. It's still.
Seems like the next Talon's Garage project, new tailgates.
I've been thinking about something temporary.
You know a guy.
If only I knew a guy that could make something like out of sheet metal.
There you go.
So basically, when I first started doing this, I measured everything with a tape measure. And it was real funny because I was using a Harbor Freight tape measure. I was measuring everything, and every time everything came out exactly 3/16 of an inch off. Then one day I bought a Lufkin tape measure compared to my Harbor Freight and realized it was 3/16 of an inch off, and it wasn't my plasma table that was off; it was tape measure.
Oh damn.
Anyways, so when I started out laying under stuff, tape measuring stuff, putting it into CAD, I bought that 3D scanner, and the first time I used it, I basically turned like a week worth of work into about 4 hours. 3D scanner works great. I can scan the entire underside of a truck in about an hour. Well, 3 minutes. It takes longer to put it on the lift, get the skid plates off, get the computer opened up and all that, and it does do the actual scanning. But that is one tool that is absolutely worth its weight in gold.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You know, I like doing that, but then like you kind of get married to that customer forever sometimes, and it works really well. Sometimes I rent stuff off Toro, and that works out really well.
Don't tell Toro.
Yeah, don't tell Toro. Don't. I've had a couple people who like watch their vehicle when it's running really low. Like they're like, you didn't drive anywhere in 3 days. Like, why didn't you cancel? I was like, oh, I got everything I need. Don't worry. It was. I had a death in the family. I couldn't go the trip we wanted, but I didn't want to screw you. So, thanks for caring. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely makes it handy. You know, I started out on SEMA has a great program for small businesses where you can actually get some CAD files from, you know, the OEMs, but it's only a couple vehicles, and it's actually kind of hard to get access. But you know, that was nice, but they wouldn't give you everything. So the 3D scanner, everything is right there. So I don't spend 6 hours designing something just to find out that the real truck has a bracket that wasn't on the CAD file. Yeah. Yeah. And like Cartercraft, I think you have a little 3D scanner, don't you?
No, I have no. I got a plasma table and then various levels of junky computers that I attempt to do very complicated CAD models on, which always ends, you know, complete failure.
I know exactly how that ends.
That Onshape has changed the game for me because now I don't have to have good computers.
Oh, nice.
I'm using Onshape, which is, I don't know if it's the stepchild of all the CAD programs, but it's completely cloud-based. And at first, I mean, I still hate it because I'm a servant to the man. If he turns the faucet off one day, I'm gonna have to pay somebody. And this is not for production. If this was a company deal, I would do something different. But it's completely cloud-based. I always thought Fusion was cloud-based, but it's not. And anyway, it runs completely on the cloud. And my junky laptops that I used to buy from work for $75, they don't care. You know, I'll get a little warning from Onshape that says my graphics card's not up to snuff, and I'm like, yeah, okay, just keep drawing. You know, it doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah, I remember the first time I tried to upload a 5 gigabyte CAD file from SEMA into Fusion 360. I would like draw a line and then go out and do something for a while, come back, put the dimension of that line, go out and do something for a while, come back. And I had a pretty beefy computer. When I made the switch to SolidWorks, which I actually started with SolidWorks Makers, it's like, $99. I'll give it a test drive, see if I like it. And man, it was life-changing. It was real-time design again. I didn't have to wait forever for Fusion 360 to think.
Yeah. We've got some parts. I'm trying to figure out who to ask, Sean, but we've got some parts that were sourced. Anything that we have from Russia, we can't get now because of the trade. And we've got a bunch of sheet metal parts that we can't get that are just bent, powder-coated black parts. I've been making them on my plasma table on company time, which is really lame because it's not very good financially. I mean, I'm getting paid by the hour, but I kind of get hosed, but at least I don't have to work.
Hmm.
But I would love to just figure out how to get you the right contact, and maybe you just need to request. I would imagine there's a bunch of people doing that. I mean, with Caterpillar, how would they not be requesting? I mean, maybe they're not good to work for.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing. So I have a couple of people that have basically all the same equipment I do. And like my one buddy in Georgia, he's making parts for SpaceX, and I call this a aerospace grade CNC sheet metal shop just because he asked me some questions on bending aluminum one day. And I was like, oh, I've made parts for the spaceship now. I count, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But that's a whole other like world I don't really get as far as like how do you find work like that, that's one thing I do like about production is I kind of have my own audience and my own consumers, and we go back to like people copying your parts. I've definitely had people order my part, copy it, buy their CNC plasma, and then start trying to sell it. And I don't hear from any of those guys anymore because they didn't have the ingenuity to come up with the product in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
And when you're making skid plates, they're kind of just filling a shape, and yeah, they're all going to kind of look alike, but there's still things you can do to make it better or make it work better, which will shine. And the people that I have seen where I copy myself, I definitely like gripe to my friends about it, and I think about burning down their house and Fork Neck Curb. But I let them do their thing. I let people figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And, there was a lot of learning curve to this. And I think one of the things I am excited about doing in the future is Texas A&M is right down the road from us, like 35 minutes away. And I would love to like mold my R&D department around engineering students. Have, a freshman, sophomore, junior, and like a senior. The senior kind of teaches the freshman, this is how you do this. This is how you make this to actually work, so we can actually make it. The sophomore, junior, kind of like they're doing their thing, make their own thing. And the seniors kind of run the show. And when he goes out, the next one takes over, and they rotate through. And I would love to do something like that. I think that would be very fulfilling. I think give them really good hands-on experience, because a lot of engineering internships, I don't think they're like doing the whole process from design to prototype and installing it. They're kind of like doing stuff in a group or whatever. Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, internship now, we have a ton of mechanic interns, and we got kids that were going to like TSTC, the Texas State Technical College, and they learn a bunch of theory, but it's nothing like going and putting your hand on the tools.
Exactly.
Especially like at your deal, they would, if you went to some Lockheed or somewhere, you're not going to touch anything full cycle. As an engineering student, I mean, you're going to just play with something, and but if they're working on your stuff, they could lay under the truck and see the mistake they made, and
exactly.
or see the manufacturing problem with what they made, you know, that kind of deal.
Yeah,
That'd
and
be
our
very
parts
valuable.
low enough that we could afford to let them screw up a time
Yeah.
or two, and learn that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's one of the things that I get to teach a lot at MD Anderson. I get to teach both new hires and student nurse anesthetists. And I think that would be something I'd like to do with Talon's Garage as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's fun.
See if I can do this. And sorry, my phone started to die, and I had to find a charger.
Yeah, that's what I had to do a second ago.
Yeah. I was worried you're going to take us to the bathroom.
I mean, are you gonna put food and drink inside me in a romantic manner first?
No,
Or
I
tell
saw
you
you.
that
I
don't
saw
give
your
a
bathroom.
about
I was
you.
worried.
Yeah. So now we know where you're sitting when you're on the forum.
Yeah, right.
Did you knock down? There was a shop or an office in there, right?
There was, yeah.
Okay.
That big mezzanine replaces the where that office was.
That was Crystal's air conditioned pack shipping and receiving area.
It was.
Yeah.
But that thing had so many cockroaches and scorpions
Yeah, I'm sure.
and spiders.
I'm sure.
That was scary. I mean, I'm not like completely terrified of spiders. But if one gets on my skin and starts crawling on
yeah.
me, you're gonna hear me scream like a little girl. Like
Yeah.
it's happening.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a shop full of them too.
Yeah.
You guys, you probably wouldn't like these kind of things.
Oh yeah, no.
What is that?
You
It
can
looks like
barely
an
tell.
S. It looks like an S to me.
That's an 8-foot red-tailed boa.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's an S. All bad stuff is S.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
This guy's sleeping right now. I'll see if you can even see him.
What do you feed him?
The snake, he gets the biggest rat I can possibly buy. This guy. Hey, come say hi.
I can't see it.
Go sideways there, Austin. There
It's
we
like
go.
a 1-inch square that I'm looking at.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
There
he's-
you
it?
go. Yeah.
he's a massive. It's a 5-foot Argus monitor. It's basically, it's a giant 5-foot lizard.
Yeah,
Oh.
the master lizard.
Wait, his nose looks.
Oh, I think it's cool.
Oh, I see it now. Ew.
Yeah.
I like my pets furry.
But
Ugh.
not
I got those too. My room's a disaster. I just got back from wheeling this weekend. One
Oh,
of my
they're
rooms.
cute.
There's the furry ones. And this
Yeah.
is the not so furry one.
That thing's huge.
Yeah, this is
Is
his tail.
he made for eating ants or something?
Yeah, what does he eat?
Yes.
He's a monitor lizard. No, he eats chicken thighs and
Oh, geez.
rats and anything that I feel like giving him. He owns the bathroom. My wife loves him to death, and he gets to hang out in the bathroom all the time.
Does your wife really love him?
He does. She rocks him like a baby. She swaddles him after his bath. She takes care of him more than I do, honestly, because I'm always so damn busy. So,
Yeah.
but she's just as busy as me. But no, she honestly, she loves him to death. And then, I mean, I have a menagerie of animals. I don't know if she's out and about or not, but I also just recently adopted oh no, she's in bed. I got a 60-year-old tortoise.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Is it still sunny where you are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's on the other side.
Yeah.
It was throwing me off earlier. I was like,
Right.
what's going on?
Yep, that's the one of the Santa Cruz mountains.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
it's
so
6:30 there.
Yeah.
Right?
7:30. 7:30.
7.
Yep. I'm gonna be going to bed here in a little bit, but I got a bit more time. I'm sure you guys got. I don't know. I get up at 3 in the damn morning for my job.
Oh,
That is that mountain line right there. That is the Santa Cruz Mountains.
oh, nice.
Well, you got the views, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yep,
pretty
I got the
nice.
views and 4.5 miles of dirt road, and half the reason I bought the Bronco. Yeah.
Nice. Well, cool.
Anyways,
We don't keep you up too late. Sean, you got anything else? Anybody else have any other questions or anything like that?
Man, I got 100 miles of questions, but I don't think they're helpful.
Go ahead.
Sean
No,
already knows what I want.
I don't. They're really way too inside baseball. They're like campfire questions, pondering life questions. If
You
I
know,
had, I'll
honestly,
just.
I ponder. I saw this boat for sale in the Bahamas. It
Oh,
was about
shit.
as much as property. And I was like, man, I could have been in the Bahamas right now on a boat with like $40,000 in my name, but that would last me at least 6 months of just island hopping.
Yeah.
I was gonna. Crystal earlier was talking about how much she trusts you, and I was gonna say if he shows up with like a 40-foot fountain or some kind of power boat, maybe start thinking about going back to work because he's YOLOing it for everything.
We do actually have an offshore boat.
Do you?
We do have a YouTube channel as well. It's not related to Talon's Garage. It's Tyndall Travels. If you try to search it, you probably won't find it because it's that small, but I could send some links out. But she has made a couple YouTube videos of a couple of our scuba trips, and I won't lie, you know, I love off-roading still, but it has become work, and it's hard to get away to go there now. But scuba diving here on the Texas coast is a day trip for us. So
Yeah.
Nice.
definitely got into that. Definitely love the boat. I definitely daydream about cutting out aluminum parts to make a bigger boat. Luckily, I have a 4-member WTF question mark who talks me out of that at least once a week.
You just need SV Seeker in your life. That's all you need.
No, not that crazy.
Not that.
But don't tempt me. Hold my beer and watch this.
I mean, has plasma, has brake, has laser, has all the things.
You know, I have like a couple more $100,000 of debt to pay off, and then I could just close doors and start making my boat and SV Seeker it.
Yep. Yep.
Well, cool. Appreciate the time and the tour and all that.
Yeah.
I know we'll check out that other channel you got there. We got your link should be in this YouTube video for but if you want to go ahead and yell them out there for anybody that's watching for.
We're Talon's Garage on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
YouTube.
and YouTube.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize you had YouTube. I'll add that on there.
I don't think we have anything super exciting on there.
Yeah.
A couple install guides.
Install guide.
One of the wives driving the Bronco, I think, and
Yeah.
we need to do a lot more stuff, but getting in front of the camera is kind of scary.
Yeah. Trust
Good.
me. Yeah. This is my first venture into it too. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I think there's some way I can tag this onto your channel as well. So we'll play around.
Yeah,
and
I
figure
think
that out.
I think you probably sent us something earlier that I didn't see yet, and I need to share this because it was good. And you know, Austin, thank you very much for coming up with us and letting us be your first guinea pigs.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
dude.
being first through the door there.
Yeah, and Austin, Cartercraft, and Guido, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for
Absolutely.
having us, dude.
Yeah.
No, that's
It
awesome.
was really cool.
Sean and Guido both appreciate your guys' service as well. So
Oh, thank you.
glad
Yeah,
you
that's
guys-
absolutely.
definitely.
Mhm. Cool. All right, man. We'll take it easy. We'll see you guys on the forums.
Right on, guys.
All right,
Take care.
Crystal, nice meeting you.
Bye.
Later.
See you guys.